with Rick Tocchet. So you're going to be a part of the staff for Canada at the Olympic Games, and prior to us getting to that, I want to ask you about how you're navigating the schedule. We talk about it constantly on this show, and that Olympic break in particular. Like everyone's got, I think, around 14, 15 more games before you hit that break, and it's a 2.5, 3 week reset, and then it'll be like 22, 23 game race to the finish line. Are you breaking your season up as pre-break, post-break? How are you handling the break in terms of goal oriented, putting stuff on the board in terms of what you're chasing, what you want your team to be thinking? How are you kind of navigating the schedule and the Olympic break in particular?
Yeah, first of all, more the science part of it. So we got it's a little bit of a sprint here before the Olympics. So I got to get these guys. How many practices can I have? How many days off? Like, you probably have to give more days off to the guys because of the schedule, and the travel and 4 and 6 nights. So I'm more attuned to that, making sure, I get the energy level of players. Don't really look too far ahead. Like, we don't, some coaches, I think down the road you start like, hey, can we, you almost play the 7-game series. Can we win 4, 5 games in the next 7 games? I mean, you could do those tricks in March and April. But I think now for me is the energy level and trying to get the guys for these next 13, 14 games where we're at our optimal best energy wise, and then we got that break, right? And that's another thing. You can win or lose those 2 weeks as a coach. How do you? It's like a mini training camp, but how do you get the guys prepared for that stretch drive? That's another thing that we're going to have to dive into. We haven't dove into it but the next week or two we're going to have to divide. Because I'll be gone. So, put a schedule together. It's going to be huge. I'm a big believer in coaching can really help that in those breaks. Look, you take a guy like Andy Reid. He's the best coach in the NFL after a bye, right? So what does he do for those 2 weeks with his team to be the most successful coach? I think that's something we look into. Like, what's the best way for those 2 weeks to optimize the players, for the stretch drive?
Have your guys call the O-Dog on his old Cancun routine. Back in 98, 02, right on?
Talk. I used to tell these guys, I'd go to Cancun, and I didn't do anything. And I came back, and I felt amazing. I felt the best I've ever felt. I felt refreshed, and obviously you got to get a couple workouts in when you get back. But with the whole time, 10 days Cancun, nothing, I'd never felt better when I came back.
you have to have a lot of talent to be able to do that. I could listen. I used to have my fun, but I could never do that. The way I skated, man, if I took 10 days off, oh my God, I'd be out. I'd be out of the league. But the guys nowadays, it's a guy like Sidney Crosby. I don't know if he still does it. Well, obviously he's going to the Olympics, but when he has a break of the All-Star games, well, he's always in it. But when he gets breaks, he always wants to stay in cold weather. He finds it's better for him when he comes back. He never liked going to the beach and stuff like that. So it's amazing how guys are different, the way they approach, those days off.
How nuts is Sidney Crosby staying in cold weather during a break because it's better for his body? Like, that's a Canadian, man. That's a legend. Get him on like the $10 bill or something. $100 bill.
Do not agree on that one.
No, I totally I would think that's 101. I can't imagine anyone else in the league looks at it the same way.
Yeah, so where are you going? Nowhere.
I'm going to North Dakota. Yeah, I'm going to be in Minnesota. I'm going up to Winnipeg. I'm going to stay cold.
Yeah,
because it helps me and it makes me feel better about my body and my game.
That's reminds commitment. Me of Tavares, and I remember some of the players on the Leafs telling me that he would keep his window open on the plane, like even on overnight flights, because he wanted to keep his circadian rhythm in line. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's
can
too
you
much,
imagine
man.
like you're on the plane and like there's one window open? You're just like,
yeah, John, come on.
Come on.
Like the rest of us aren't playing those games. But if you're Tavares, if you're Crosby,
you take everything you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially later in your career, you got to get every edge you can. Like Sid's on pace for 90+ points again. The guy's unbelievable. Like we were looking at
90+ points.
Yes. Like he is an absolute machine. Again, I saw him live. I was down there on the 23rd. He didn't have a great game, but he still looks like an engine.
How long do you think he'll play?
We've had this chat a bunch. I am adamant.
There's been rumblings that this guy might
I think it's Tom Brady.
Like
personally?
45?
Go ahead. What are the rumblings that you're hearing that he's going to pull the
Well,
shoots?
I think it might have been you. That's like, it wouldn't shock me if this guy's playing at 42 years old. I just don't see it.
Yeah. Well, again, he's 38 right now, and he's still one of the 10 or 15 best players in the game.
How old was Chelios when he 46?
He was playing I played against Chelly when he was 45 years old, playing D for the Detroit Red Wings.
Now, he was a very different player,
Of course.
obviously.
Dude, and he was still very good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Chelios, man. What a career he had.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Like,
What a player.
career. What a player.
You want to talk about a guy that was like, obviously he had the competitiveness in the battle, but he would just sniff out certain things where it was like, you try, like he would sniff out he was just such a smart defenseman, and that's why he hung around so long.